Wisconsin's brewing traditions run deep. For many, it's almost in their blood. This month, women across the state are raising a glass to their place in that legacy and opening the door for others to join them. Dana Fulton explores how women have helped to craft this history and how you can support this evolving chapter.
From taprooms to tasting rooms, you'll struggle to find a town in Wisconsin without a connection to brewing. If you look closely at that storied history, you'll notice a theme bubbling to the top: women.
You see these husband and wife teams for taverns all around the state today. It happened back then too. It was just a lot more difficult for women to break in.
Despite the challenges, women helped Wisconsin's biggest brewing names grow, often behind the scenes.
Blatz, Schlitz, Pabst, Best, Miller, they all expanded because of marriage.
For many families, it wasn't only partnership, it was a full generational passing of the torch. That's exactly the case at Gray Brewing.
It was my childhood growing up around it. It's now in my adulthood.
Sarah and her brother Jacob now operate the family business, which has stood proudly in Janesville for 169 years. She says she's lucky to have clear shoes to follow: the family matriarch, her great-grandmother, Margaret.
She really kept the business alive in the 1940s and then carried it through the 1950s and 1960s when, women just, they weren't in those types of business roles back then.
Data shows that women still only make up about a fifth of the brewing industry, from owners to production to sales.
You do see when you go to retailer events or, industry events, and you might be one of only 3 girls in a room of 100 people. But I'm lucky that that's never, I grew up that was never even like a thing.
But that percentage is growing. Collaborations like the Women's Beer and Spirits Collective are helping drive that change.
I think that the beer industry, even though it's vast and competitive, it's also a very, very small industry. We all know each other. I could do stuff on my own, but why wouldn't I invite 13 of my fellow females in the industry and make something that is 13 times bigger?
This team effort goes back to Wisconsin's brewing roots, which even inspires the Youngblood brand. But the impact doesn't need to be as big as a brand. When women lead the way in small-town bars and breweries, the ripple effects often reach far beyond their doors.
If you go to that one spot and everybody's talking about it, and if it's all the rage in that small town, then maybe more people will pay attention and start adopting those practices.
Whether you're launching a new brew or simply pulling up a stool to the bar, these women want to be sure there's room for everyone to be part of Wisconsin's brewing story. Reporting in Madison, I'm Dana Fulton.
The Women's Beer and Spirits Collective is hosting more than 40 events over the month across southern Wisconsin, from drag bingo to dance parties. Funds raised at the events will go to charities supporting women, including the Lotus Legal Fund and Wisconsin Women's Network.